Hello, everybody. How's it going? I am not very well today, hence why I'm not on camera and stuff. I've got a bad case of the COVID's in me today, so I'm going to be handing things over to Stephen to take over today's festivities, and he will be guiding you through today, and doing the weekly catch up with thing as well. Hopefully next week we'll be able to get back to our top anticipated films of the year. But I'm gonna drop out, so I'll add Stephen in now and leave you guys to it. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Matt. I'm sure everyone agrees with me in wishing you a very speedy recovery.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, I am going to do my best to get us through a obviously kind of a truncated show this week. We were originally going to do our most anticipated movies of 2022, but we are now going to push that back, and we're going to wait and do that at another time. We have the lovely Sherry here joining us in the chat, who is wishing you a speedy recovery.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, and please do enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. All right, and I'm going to drop out because I feel really terrible.
Yes, absolutely. Please do. Please.
Okay. All right, then.
Go to bed, take medication, do whatever you have to do, man.
I will. Plenty of OJ and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right.
Peace and love, everybody.
So, all right. Back on the air. Sorry for the dead time. I had a little hiccup on my end. This is, of course, a live broadcast, and this is my ongoing plan to take over the internet one channel at a time. I also have a couple of other quick announcements. We lost a couple of greats in Hollywood this week with the passing of Betty White, Sidney Poitier, and Peter Bogdanovich. I would like to express our condolences to the family and friends. That all three of them were legends, and we're drinking this one for you. All right. We are going to, as I said, we are not going to do our most anticipated movies of 2022 show as we had originally planned. We're going to push that back because Matt definitely has some opinions on that one, and I'm sure you would all really love to hear them. Yes, indeed. All right. So we're going to go over now to Rotten Tomatoes and do our normal weekly catch-up. And screen share is not cooperating with me just at the moment. But what I'm going to do is I am going to read that off for you. We have the weekly catch-up from Rotten Tomatoes by our good friend Greg Dean Smits. for the week ending January 7th. Chris Evans to star as Gene Kelly in a new biopic, and more movie news. Michael Keaton's Batman joins the Batgirl movie, and new projects for Benedict Cumberbatch, Rooney Mara, Colin Firth, Vanessa Kirby, and more. This week's catch-up brings you more headlines from the world of film development news, covering such titles as new biopics about Jean-Michel Basquiat, Napoleon Bonaparte, Audrey Hepburn, Gene Kelly, and Suge Knight. All right. Like few other Marvel Studio stars who have a lot more time on their hands post Avengers Endgame, certified fresh at 94%, Chris Evans continues to line up new roles. Before this week, the biggest new project for him was this summer's Lightyear, scheduled to be released June 17th, 2022. The Toy Story spin-off, in which Evans will provide the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Last month, we also learned that the MCU's Spider-Man Tom Holland is attached to star as classic Hollywood icon Fred Astaire in a new biopic, which then leads us back to Chris Evans. Fred Astaire is most often compared to Gene Kelly, who appeared in Singing in the Rain and An American in Paris. Now Evans is attached to star as Gene Kelly in an untitled drama set at the MGM lot in 1952, which happens to be the year Singing in the Rain premiered. The premise bears some similarities to Taika Waititi's Jojo Rabbit, certified fresh at 80%, as its plot is described as a 12-year-old boy's imagined friendship with Gene Kelly. Chris Evans is also acting as one of the project's producers, along with Rian Johnson from Knives Out and, of course, Star Wars The Last Jedi, and screenwriter John Logan of Avatar and Skyfall. Although the film is set at MGM, no studio is involved yet, including MGM itself. As for the million-dollar question about whether Chris Evans can actually dance, there's apparently a video attached, which we're not going to play because we will probably get yeeted. So we're going to move on to the other headlines. And this one concerns Benedict Cumberbatch joins Wes Anderson's Henry Sugar. One of the most frequently reported on projects of 2021 was Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, and already the director is lining up the cast for his next project. After that, in September, Netflix made a massive deal with the estate of children's author Roald Dahl, and the first project to emerge from that deal is an adaptation of The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which Wes Anderson will direct as his second Roald Dahl movie after the stop-motion animated film The Fantastic Mr. Fox, certified fresh at 93%. The title character will be played by Benedict Cumberbatch in his first film with Anderson. Dahl's book is a compilation of several stories, offering fanciful takes on how Dahl came up with his stories and other cast members, possibly representing other stories in the book. The cast will include Dev Patel, Ralph Fiennes, and Sir Ben Kingsley. Fiennes previously co-starred in The Grand Budapest Hotel, a movie I personally highly recommend. And But the other three are new additions to Wes Anderson's trope of actors. Okay, so do we have any Wes Anderson fans in the chat? And if you do, which movies? Did you enjoy Grand Budapest Hotel as I did, or Moonrise Kingdom, or maybe The Royal Tenenbaums is your favorite? Feel free to sound off. All right. We are going to go on to our next story. Colin Firth and Toby Jones join Olivia Coleman in Empire of Light. Just before the COVID-19 pandemic set down much of the filmmaking industry in 2020, one of the last big Academy Award-winning films was Sam Mendes' World War I epic in 1917, certified fresh at 89%, which was nominated in 10 categories and won in 3: cinematography, sound mixing, and visual effects. Mendes has been developing his next project called Empire of Light for some time, but it's only now ready for filming. Not much is known about the premise of Empire of Light, except that it's set at an old movie theater in England in the 1980s, and that until this week. The attached stars were Olivia Coleman from The Favorite and The Crown, and newcomer Michael Ward. We still don't know much about the story, but we now know the cast will include Colin Firth, Toby Jones, Crystal Clark, and Tanya Moody. Sam Mendes' frequent cinematographer, Roger Deakins, is also lensing Empire of Light, which is expected to be released in the midst of awards season late 2022. Okay, that sounds very interesting. Sam Mendes is well known, of course, for Skyfall and the Oscar-winning American Beauty. And he's brought some heavy hitters on board here with Olivia Coleman and Colin Firth. Like I said, there's not much known about this project at this time, but certainly the cast is going to be good. So, all right. So, Empire of Light. What do you think of the cast? Let me know in the comments. Because I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Except, of course, my trusty sidekick a little bit, who's my cat. He's a domestic short hair, and he's sitting right next to me right now, probably plotting my demise. So we are going to move on to the next story. Michael Keaton's Batman joins the Batgirl solo movie. At the end of each year, when the movie news cycle slows down to a near stop, the weekly catch-up transforms into the retrospective yearly catch-up for a couple of weeks. During that period, there are always a few stories that break that are still worth swinging back to cover in the new year. For example, a few days before Christmas, we learned that Michael Keaton, who will be reprising his role as Batman in The Flash, set to be released November 4th this year, will also be doing the same in the Batgirl solo movie, which was produced by and for HBO Max for 2023. Batgirl herself will be portrayed by Leslie Grace, who is one of the breakout stars in last summer's In the Heights. Yes, she was excellent in that movie, and I highly recommend In the Heights for anyone who's not yet seen it. With J.K. Simmons playing her father, Commissioner Jim Gordon, and Brendan Fraser also cast in an unknown role. Is there a possibility his Doom Patrol character might be in this? Who's to say? Bad Boys for Life, certified fresh at 76%. Co-directors Adil El Arbi in Balafala are currently filming Batgirl on location in London. Okay, so Michael Keaton once again putting on the cowl and mentoring Batgirl. What do you think of Michael Keaton returning at least 2 more times as Batman? And what do you think of the casting of Leslie Grace? I think she could be great. She was outstanding in the Heights. Okay, we are going to speed right along to our next story. Taika Waititi recruits Will Arnett for soccer movie Next Goal Wins. One of the most surprising stories of 2021 was the revelation of allegations about the private life of movie star Armie Hammer, which quickly led to his departure from the Jennifer Lopez romantic comedy Shotgun Wedding. Next month's Death on the Nile had already wrapped filming, but by that point, so Hammer can still be spotted in the film's trailer. Another project that Hammer had previously filmed scenes for was director Taika Waititi's underdog soccer movie Next Goal Wins. Waititi recently gathered the production back together for reshoots, with Will Arnett taking over Armie Hammer's role in what is also described as a larger part than was originally envisioned. There is no release date yet for Next Goal Wins, but it will be sometime after Waititi's next film, which is the Marvel sequel Thor: Love and Thunder, scheduled for a 7/8/22 release. Okay, so Armie Hammer has been replaced by Will Arnett for Next Goal Wins, Taika Waititi's next film. So, any thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder, or on the casting of Will Arnett in Next Goal Wins? All right. Good morning, Darius Munchausen, good friend of the channel. Thank you very much for being here. And hail back to you, sir. And once again, hello to the lovely Sherry. And once again, thank you for joining us. All right, we are going to move on to our next story. Rooney Mara to portray Audrey Hepburn in a biopic for Apple Studios. One of the rotten ideas covered in last week's yearly catch-up was the continuing legal battle over Paramount Pictures' interest in remaking the 1961 classic Breakfast at Tiffany's. Certified fresh at 89%, starring George Peppard and Audrey Hepburn. That film may now never happen, thanks to the aforementioned legal issues. But Hollywood will soon revisit Hepburn in another way. Rooney Mara is now attached to star in an untitled Audrey Hepburn biopic for Apple Studios and presumably Apple TV, which will be directed by Luca, and I know I'm going to butcher this name, Guadagnino, the director of Call Me By Your Name and also the remake of Suspiria. I'm sorry if you're out there. I'm sorry for butchering your name, mate. The details of the project are not yet known, and that includes whether the film will be a traditional biopic, as in a decades-long adaptation of Hepburn's life, or if it will be more of a snapshot of the actress's life, like The King's Speech, My Week with Marilyn, and the recent Princess Di film Spencer. Okay, well, we're going to get an Audrey Hepburn biopic starring Rooney Mara. if I remember correctly, there was a made-for-TV biopic about Audrey Hepburn starring Jennifer Love Hewitt and Michael Weatherly from NCIS as George Peppard. That took her life from World War II to the filming of Breakfast at Tiffany's. So who knows? Rooney Mara certainly resembles Audrey Hepburn in many ways. So she's good casting. We're going to keep an eye on this one and see who else gets cast, and if anyone else gets attached behind the scenes. Okay, we're going to all right, an Audrey Hepburn biopic. Those of you in the chat, what do you think? Do you think Rooney Mara is good casting? Would you have gone with someone else? Let me know. All right, we're going to move on to our next story. Cyrano star to portray Jean-Michel Basquiat in Samo Lives. Jeffrey Wright is a well-established actor now, but one of his earliest breakout roles was in 1966. Well, no, didn't go back that far. One of his earliest breakout roles was in 1996's Basquiat, sort of fresh at 68%. As the 1980s artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, who started his career using the street art pseudonym Samo before dying at the young age of 27 in 1988 from a heroin overdose. The life story of Basquiat will soon become the basis for a feature film again, as Cyrano co-star Kelvin Harrison Jr. is now attached to star in the film Samo Lives. The biopic will be directed by Julius Anna, who also directed The Cloverfield Paradox and Loose, which also starred Kelvin Harrison, from a screenplay Anna co-wrote with screenwriter Peter Glantz. The project already has a website at samolives.com where you can read more about Basquiat's life and the director's intentions for the film. All right. Yes, I did not see the Jeffrey Wright film. I do recall it upon its release. It did get, it was rather well reviewed, and pretty much launched Jeffrey Wright's film career. Now we're going to get another film about Jean-Michel Basquiat's life. So in the chat, let me know. Were you a Jean-Michel Basquiat fan? He kind of was a little before my time. I wasn't really that familiar with him. So let me know in the chat. What do you think? If this sounds like this is going to be a good one. All right. We're going to move on. To our next story. Vanessa Kirby joins Joaquin Phoenix in Napoleon biopic kit bag. Director Ridley Scott may have recently turned 84, but he continues to direct feature films at a furious pace, which in 2021 included both The Last Duel, certified fresh at 86%, and House of Gucci, fresh at 63%. Showing no signs of slowing down, Scott is preparing to film both the Gladiator sequel and his long-in-development Napoleon Bonaparte biopic Kit Bag, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Jodie Comer, who also co-starred in The Last Duel, had been expected to play Napoleon's wife, the Empress Josephine, in Kit Bag, but she had to drop out this week because of scheduling conflicts in the COVID-19 pandemic. And within a few hours of that announcement, however, the role quickly went instead to Vanessa Kirby, who may be best known for her portrayal of Princess Margaret in the first 2 seasons of Netflix's The Crown. Ridley Scott is preparing to film Kitbag at historical locations across Europe later this month, and the epic is scheduled to premiere on Apple TV sometime in 2023. Okay, well, sad to see Jodie Comer go. I think she would have made a great Josephine. But Vanessa Kirby, excellent actress, recent Oscar nominee. She'll certainly knock it out. And Joaquin Phoenix, he's great. I can't wait to see him play Napoleon. Ridley Scott's movies can be hit and miss for certain people, but they're never boring. So, yeah, Ridley Scott historical epic. I'm down. Going to premiere on Apple TV sometime next year. And Apple TV is really kind of coming to its own recently. It had the 2 back-to-back Tom Hanks films with Greyhound and Finch. The Denzel Washington starring Tragedy of Macbeth is currently airing now. And Kitbag about Napoleon and Empress Josephine is going to be added. So, yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Apple TV. So to everybody in the chat, Napoleon biopic, what do you think? And do you have Apple TV? And do you have a favorite show or movie from that streaming service? Let me know in the chat. We're going to move on now. And this is a week for biopics. Life of hip-hop producer Suge Knight to be adapted as a film. Hollywood is in the midst of a new wave of musical biopics. And there is an argument to be made that it really got its start with the surprise box office success in 2015 of Straight Outta Compton, about the early hip-hop group NWA. One of the key figures in that film's last act was producer Suge Knight, who co-founded Death Row Records with that group's Eazy-E and Dr. Dre. That led to a mega successful career and eventual downfall over legal issues, all of which is now in development as an Untitled Suge Knight biopic. The film is being co-written by screenwriter Nick Cassavetes, co-writer of Blow and My Sister's Keeper, and indie producer Anthony Thorpe. Suge Knight is currently incarcerated on charges of voluntary manslaughter and will become eligible for parole in 2037. Okay, yes. Nick Cassavetes, of course, being the son of the late director John Cassavetes and actress Jenna Rollins. And he definitely has a varying range of films in different genres. Blow being a true life story, and My Sister's Keeper being a family drama. It's an interesting choice to have him direct a Suge Knight biopic. Yeah, I think he'll knock it out of the park. It's really going to depend on who they get to play Suge Knight. I can't really think of anybody right offhand who could really fit in playing him. Brian Tyree Henry, perhaps. So in the chat, if anybody has any casting ideas for who could play Suge Knight in a Hollywood biopic, again, let me know there in the comments. All right, for those of you who are might be joining us late, our friend Matt Allen is unfortunately ill and will not be joining us. So this is all part of my foolproof plan to take over the internet one channel at a time. But you have me here, your friend Deleted Scenes. A few things about myself. I'm 5'10". I am against bunny torture. And I'm really nervous right now, so take it easy on me. All right, we're going to go to the chat. Our friend Darius Munchausen. Common in a big guy suit. I can maybe. Anything is possible. Common is certainly obviously no stranger to the hip hop world, so he might be a good choice. Yes, Matt, feel better. Hello, Courtney, our good friend of the channel, Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Courtney and Darius, since you're both in the chat, go ahead and put in the link to your channels. So everybody go and sub to both Courtney and Darius's channels. They got some great content. Yes, hail Courtney. All right, we are going to move on. Ordinarily, all of this would be up on the screen. Unfortunately, StreamYards is not cooperating just at the moment. So we're going to move on and read the next story. Dwayne Johnson says no chance he will return for Fast 10. In 2017, FX aired a miniseries called Feud, Betty and Joan, about Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And if there's ever a season about the movie stars of today, it might center on the lingering back and forth between former Fast and Furious franchise co-stars Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson. In November, Diesel took to Instagram to invite Johnson back to play Agent Luke Hobbs in the final films of the franchise. And last week, Johnson gave his reply, which can be best summed up in 2 words: no chance. Within context, Johnson's statement read more fully as, and I quote, "I was firm yet cordial with my words and said that I would always be supportive of the cast and always root for the franchise to be successful. But there was no chance that I would return. Universal Pictures has scheduled Fast 10 for release on May 19th, 2023, and Fast 11, the franchise's expected final entry, is scheduled for sometime in 2024. Justin Lin is expected to start directing both films in early 2022. Now, anyone who's a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise is well aware that Vin Diesel and The Rock don't exactly get along very well behind the scenes, and this would seem to confirm it. I personally have not seen the Fast and Furious movies past the first one, so I've got a lot of catching up to do, obviously. In the chat, Darius, Courtney, have you seen the Fast and Furious films? Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the chat. From Courtney, will you make sure Matt knows we are sending positive thoughts to him? Yes, I'm sure he is listening in. Probably now rethinking allowing me to host a show. No. We're doing all right. And for those of you out there in the YouTube verse, our friend Darius Munchausen does have his own channel. That's the link. So go over there and show him some love. Give him some subs. So D. Sup, Darius Munchausen, aka D Money. Okay, D Money it is. I think I like the fourth one. Right on. Right on. Like I said, I haven't seen the fourth movie yet, so I have some catching up to do there. LOL, Courtney. From Courtney, I never saw any of them. I wish I could tell you I knew the cars were supposed to be cool looking. LOL. Yes. And apparently they can launch into space now, based on what I've heard of the previous movie. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. That makes me feel better. Hosting, yes. Our never-ending battle against Autospell. Yeah. I'm trying to figure mine out. I'll probably get to it. I'm sorry. I'll get to it probably slowly. Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't have any videos up on my channel just yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I like making up nicknames for everyone. Cool. Well, take it easy on me when you come up with a nickname for me. I didn't even know there were 4 of them. Oh my goodness! I wish I could help out with that question. There are actually 9. There were Dad F9 the Fast Saga. They think they're a saga now. Okay, and there are going to be 2 more coming up, and they're going to be the last 2. And The Rock has made it very clear that he's not going to be in either of them. So, okay. Space cars, yes. I understand that there's a scene in F9 where they actually do launch one of the cars into space. How that happened is anyone's guess. Okay, we'll have to see the movie to find out. Okay, so we're going to leave the world of Fast and the Furious, and we are going to move on. And, well, okay, that appears to be it for the weekly roundup from our friend Greg Dean Smits over at Rotten Tomatoes. And thank you once again for saving our show. As those of you may remember, Matt and I were originally going to give you our list of most anticipated films of 2022. Unfortunately, Matt could not be with us this week. He's recovering. So we're going to do that show at a later time. But since I have Sherry, Darius, and Courtney here in the chat, do you have any movies that you're looking forward to? Maybe one of them that we discussed today, or anything that's coming out this year that you're looking forward to? Go ahead and let me know in chat. I know one movie I was really looking forward to this year was going to be John Wick 4. Now, as you might recall, John Wick 4 and the latest Matrix movie were both set to be released on the same day. And unfortunately, thanks to the COOF, they were forced to change their filming schedules, and that did not happen. But man, what a great double feature that would have made. Or maybe it wouldn't have. The Matrix got pretty savaged critically. Personally, I found enough in it to recommend it, but I'm in the minority on that one. Oh, thank you very much, Courtney. Bravo, bravo, encore, encore. You did great. Let's get us some space cars. Yes. Love you, buddy. I love you too. Send Polaroids. Anyway, I'm kidding, of course. All right. So, are either of you fans of the John Wick franchise? What did you think of the latest Matrix film? Like I said, I found enough in it to like, but I understand why some people might not have been happy with it. It definitely, I thought, certainly suffered from not having the original editor and not having Yun Wo Ping's stunt team. All right. I still haven't seen Get Back. I don't know what counts for 2022. I also want to see the I Love Lucy one. I can't remember the name. That probably doesn't count as 2020 either. All right, the I Love Lucy film is called Being the Ricardos. And it's 1 week in the life of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, played by Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem, respectively. It's currently streaming for free on Amazon, and it's also playing in theaters. So, yeah, and that is a 2021 film. 2022, yeah. What would count as a 2022 movie? Obviously not many. This is the first weekend. I know there are a number of VOD films out this week. And the only major release I know about is a movie called The 355, which is a spy film starring Jessica Chastain. I haven't been to a movie theater in years. No, a lot of people haven't. I think people are a little skittish about the COOF still to go. I've only been to a handful of movies myself in the last couple of years. One of the reasons that I stopped going to the theaters on a regular basis was because my father fell ill, and I really didn't like leaving him alone for too long. Not that he couldn't take care of himself, he could, but I didn't like to stray too far from home, and now in recent years, and of course the last couple of years, the COOF shut down the theaters, and did come back briefly last summer, and I got in to see Unhinged and Tenet, and then the theaters closed again until the opening weekend of Wrath of Man, the Jason Statham film. That was the first movie I saw when the theaters reopened and stayed open. Yeah. Always good for a laugh. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, since... hold on. Jesus. I want to see The Black Hand. No, I'm not familiar with that one. I haven't heard of it. Who's in it? I just looked up 2022 movies, LOL. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and I don't want to go too far into the subject of new releases because, like I said, Matt and I are planning a future show about films being released this year. I definitely have a few that I'm looking forward to. And, unfortunately, a couple of them, like I said, John Wick 4 got pushed back to next year. So that's something I'm personally very concerned about is, will the film release schedule as we currently know it remain that way? And hopefully we won't have any more lockdowns. And obviously the most important thing is that everyone who is ill with the coof recovers quickly. And that's the most important thing, folks. And why we do this show. We do this for you. We do this for the people. And everyone is welcome here. We try to put out the good vibes, as Matt says. Oh, that movie I just wrote is in pre-production, but has Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio is very good about choosing quality projects. So, yeah, I have no doubt this will be good. He has a film with Scorsese coming out hopefully this year, maybe next. That's based on a true story about a murder on an Indian reservation. I'm trying to recall the name. I'm blanking out on it right now, of course. Yeah, The Black Hand, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, we'll certainly keep an eye on that one. Sorry to hear about your father. Well, thank you very much. He was a great guy. I miss him every day. He was a Vietnam veteran. He was in the Air Force for 20 years. The Department of Corrections for several years after that. Owned 2 businesses that he built from the ground up. He was a great guy. And I do my best to try to match up to him. He's probably looking down on me now going, what the hell are you doing? YouTube? Go get a real job. I'm working on it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat. The lovely Sherry. It's Courtney. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, and of course the great Darius Munchausen. And to everyone who is watching the replay, thank you for sticking around this long. And I was nervous, but I think we got through it pretty well. We had our technical difficulties, and of course, we lost our great host, Matt Allen, but he's going to recover. So positive vibes. Send out the positive vibes to Matt. And once again, I want to thank everyone for joining me. And have a great weekend. You can catch me tonight on Rambling Canucks Karaoke Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to listen to me sing very badly and listen to a number of people who can sing very, very well, go over to Rambling Canucks channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And show Matt some love while he's recovering, and like, share, and subscribe to his channel. All right. And so, without further ado, have a good day.